Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Melissa and today I will be talking about my upcoming move to France. So I'll be talking about why I'm moving over there, how I'm able to move over there, some struggles that are trying to get in between me and my dream of moving to France. And I'll also be talking about in future videos the steps that I am taking to prepare for this move to France in a few months. Okay, so why I'm moving to France? Well, I think I have almost an unhealthy obsession with France, and this started from when I was a little girl. I'm telling you, maybe about 5, where I don't know, I just found out about France and I thought this was the greatest place to move to, and there are a few reasons that was probably. My family comes from Haiti. So from a young age, my dad made me learn French. I had no choice. No ifs, ands, or buts. It was, Melissa, I don't care if your cousins are outside and you want to go play, you need to sit down and learn some French. Tears, no effect on daddy. So at that time, I didn't appreciate him. In fact, I was like, you are messing up my childhood. But as I got older, I came to develop this love for the French language, and I'm very appreciative, very grateful to my dad for forcing me to learn French at that age. So one reason that I want to move to France is to become fluent. So I can have conversations, I can introduce myself, I can understand what you're saying to me, but I want that fluidity. I want to speak it almost as well as I speak English. So that's one reason. Another reason why I'm moving to France is because I have, on trips there, I have always felt at home. I don't know if you've ever felt that when you go to another place and you feel in your spirit like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. So that's how I felt when I landed in France, when I arrived in France, and it was just this feeling that came over me that said, Melissa, this is where you're supposed to be. And it would be funny because when I would come back from the trips and come back to the US, I actually felt like I was a tourist in the US when it was actually the opposite. So that's another reason. Another reason, the history of the country, the architectural beauty of it. It's so amazing when you're walking down the street, right? And you turn the corner and bam, in your face is like the Eiffel Tower, a statue of Benjamin Franklin. And it's just, there's so much history there. And I enjoy learning about the historical aspects of a country. Another reason I would like to go and live in France, or I'm going to, or I want to live in France, is because of the culture. And when I'm talking about the culture, it's actually a specific part of the culture. So since I've been over there, I've made some friends from Africa, African descent, but born in France. And they've introduced me to a whole different aspect of the French culture that they don't teach you about that in school. You don't see that in movies, right? And it's like, it was the music, it was the food, it was their way of speaking. And I was like, wait, what? This exists here? I love it. I have to be a part of this. I want to be immersed in this. So that's another one of the reasons I'm going there. Also, I would be remiss to say if I didn't mention the food. Okay, I'm not a foodie in any shape or form, but when I go over there, I am a different person. So it goes from everything from like the pain au chocolat to the crème brûlée to the Senegalese restaurants where I usually will leave half of my food and save the rest, right? Over there, my plate is clean. It is clean. So those are a few. Also, another big reason is because their way of thinking about life resonates with my way of thinking about life. So for me, it's very important to enjoy your life, enjoy the people in your life, enjoy the moments in your life, right? And I always felt at odds here in the US because it always seemed more like a work, 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 work until you die mentality. And I'm more like, why? So the way they um, work to live versus living to work also resonates with me. So that mentality, I feel like I fit in there because of that. So it's another reason I'm interested in exploring more of France. So, okay, we've got why I want to go there. Now, how about how I will be able to move over there? So, I'm actually going to be doing a program called TAPIF, which stands for Teaching Assistant Program in France. So what it is you are basically a language assistant in the French classrooms. It can be in the elementary, middle, or high school, and you assist the teachers in helping the students better their English. You work 12 hours a week and you get a pay for that. It's not a lot, but it's better than nothing, right? So you get some pay for that. You're in the classroom 12 hours a week. Listen to this. You also get 2 weeks vacation about every 6 weeks because it follows the school calendar. What? So I'm gonna be in Europe, and if everything goes well with if the travel restrictions are lifted and things like that, your girl is gonna be traveling. So, oh yeah, that's another reason I would want to move there is because it's easier to travel to places. For example, I have family in Switzerland, and the train ride will take me about 4 hours to get to them. Whereas I live in South Florida, in 3 hours I'll be at Orlando. You know what I'm saying? So the proximity of the other countries was also a draw for me as well. So yes, back to TAPIF. Okay, so now I'm going to dive a little bit more into the TAPIF program and the application process because that's the stage I'm at right now. So first things first is eligibility. So for this program, you have to be between 20 and 35 years old. And I'm just slipping it under the wire because when the program starts, I'll be 34. So I knew I had to do this now or never. So between 20 and 35. Let's see what else. Oh, so you have to be a US citizen or a permanent resident. You have to have completed high school plus at least 3 years of higher education by the time the program starts in October. For your English language level, you have to be a native speaker of English. And in terms of French, you have to be proficient in French. And so they look at if you've taken courses at university in French. They also, if you haven't taken courses in school, which was my case, you can also, as long as you developed a basic proficiency in French and can prove it, then you should be good. Okay, so those are the requirements in order to be able to apply. The application runs from October to usually January, and sometimes they extend it. So keep that in mind, okay? And what do you need to do for this application? The application has about, let's say 10 parts, some longer than others. So the first part is the main application. So you're filling in your basic info, name, address, telephone number, married, if you have children, things like that, right? And in the next section, you're going to pick your preferred regions. So the thing is with TAPIF, you don't get to pick where you're going to go. They pick for you, but they do let you submit 3 preferences. And keep in mind, just because you submit those three preferences doesn't mean you're going to get your first choice, second choice, or even your third choice. You may get one that wasn't even on your list, but hey, you'll be in France, right? Also, you'll pick, pick or let them know which level you'd like to teach. This upcoming part was the most difficult for me. So the next part is you're going to write about your statement of purpose. So you are going to write and tell them why you want to do this program and basically why they should pick you. So, oh, did I say it has to be in French? Yay. Oh, and 500 words. So when I started writing this, I was like, okay, 500 words, I got this. I got to about 200 and I was like, wait, I I still have a lot more to go. So I had to, so definitely do not wait to the last minute to do this application because it takes longer than you think because you want to be able to sell yourself. And I think actually a big portion of it hinges on your essay because then they'll be able to see your motivations for doing the program. They're also going to be able to see your level of French, written French. And keep in mind, you are not supposed to have anybody proofread this for you. I started off my essay by writing about how this song I had heard while I was sleep deprived because of jet lag. And I heard like this this French hip hop song, and I never knew that hip hop existed in France before. I never heard of like French hip hop artists, and how this song inspired me by the words. And I was like, yes, you gotta live your dreams, Melissa. You gotta go after, chase your dreams. You have to. So I started off talking about how that song made me reach out for my dream of living in France. And it's actually after that first trip to France that I found out about the program. And when I heard about it, I was so excited because I was like, wait, I can do this. Originally, the age limit had been 30, and then they bumped it up to 35. So I was like, woo, I can do this. So yeah, I wrote about how I was inspired by that French song. And then I wrote about how I want to improve my French skills. I wrote about my experience already working as an online tutor, about doing after school care. No, I didn't write about that. I wrote about my experience with tutoring and meeting students from other cultures and how much I enjoyed that cultural exchange. Wrote about the food. I was very much looking forward to the food. About friends I had made over there, trips I was able to take to other French-speaking countries because of the French I had learned and how that had changed my life. So that was my essay. They also want you to mention if you have lived abroad for at least 1 month or more. And I put for that one that I had gone to Canada for 1 month on vacation with my grandparents too. So that's what I put for that part. I put that they want to see also your experience with children and teaching. So I wrote about teaching English online, and I also wrote about this was a while ago too, and I still put it how I was an after school counselor for elementary school kids. So that was that part. The next part is the medical report. So next there's a medical report where you just have to check if you have any of the conditions they listed. Then there's the dependent waiver, and this is where you acknowledge that this program is just here to help you get to France. If you have a spouse or children coming with you, you're on your own to figure out how to get them there. Next, they have you sign the attestation and signature saying everything I wrote about before was true. I understand what I'm signing up for, and I still want to do this. Then you also have the supplemental upload section. And then the next part is the recommendation and language evaluation. So there are 2 ways that you can have your level of French attested to. One way is to have a university professor write a letter of recommendation for you. If you're not in school or haven't been for a while, you can actually have the Alliance Française, someone from there, write a language evaluation for you. That's the route I took because I wrote to a professor in um, I wrote to a professor in from my former university, and I had taken one. Let me say, I had taken one French class actually, and that was years ago. So I'm sure he didn't remember me, and I'm still waiting for him to answer. So that's how that went. So I found out about the Alliance Française doing evaluations even if you had not taken courses with them. So I had to pay $40, and I spoke to one of their teachers there, and she was able to write me a recommendation. So that's how I went about that way. The second way you can get your language skills attested to is to actually take a test. Tests are like the TCF, DELF, DALF, etc. to show, it gives you a score and it shows what level of French you are. I'll tell you that this level that they want you to reach is approximately 3 semesters of French. So that's for your language evaluation. Then you have to have a general recommendation, and this could be from someone you worked with, could be from someone you worked with, for example. So the next step is payment. So to apply, you have to pay $80, non-refundable, and you submit that online. Okay, so you pay the $80 and then run what they call the application inspector to make sure that you've filled everything out and are not missing anything, and then you're able to submit your application. Then the fun part of waiting for their response, and then the fun part of waiting to see if you got accepted or not begins. So this time period, it was originally, so when I applied, the deadline was originally January 15th. Then it was extended to January 31st, 2021. And we were supposed to, and then we found out if we were accepted. It was supposed to be mid-April, but then that got pushed back a week. So towards the end of April, we found out where we got accepted to and what level we'd be teaching in. I got accepted to my first choice, so I was super excited. So to the Paris region. Paris region encompasses Paris, Créteil, and Versailles, and so I got accepted into Versailles, the Versailles Academy. So not necessary. Oh, this is also something to keep in mind. So when you get placed in an academy, so I got Versailles, for example, right? That does not mean that I will be in the city of Versailles. It just means the school district of Versailles. So in the summer, I will find out where exactly in the school district of Versailles I will be placed. So that's coming up. Looking forward to that, because once you get that information, then you can start applying for your visa, start maybe looking around for some places over there. So that's when I'll feel like, oh yes, this is starting, I'm moving, this is happening. So yeah. So that's it for the application. If you have any other questions about that, please let me know below, and I will be sure to get back to you and answer. So what am I doing in the meantime now that I found out I got accepted to France and I'm moving? Some of the challenges I'm facing because of this decision. Number one is a mental roadblock. For example, this program is usually full of younger, just graduated college applicants, and I'm at the higher end of that age range, 34. I'll be 34 when the program starts, and there's this part of me that is like, aren't you a little bit too old to be doing this, following your dreams, and it's not even a lot of money? Why are you doing this? But I have to kind of like slap myself and say, girl, this has been your dream since before you can remember, and it's now or never, and you need to do this now. So I give myself a stern talking to regarding that. And what I know too is that there's never a right time to do something, and we are all filled with, I should do this, I should be here, I should have done this by now. But you know what? We're all individuals in different unique circumstances. So where we should be is where we are right now. And what we should do next is what brings us joy. So I believe in that, and that's what I'm trying to inculcate in my daughter as well, which is very helpful because she has been a supporter of me doing this. And my 11-year-old defends me and says that it is important for me to follow my dreams and I shouldn't let other people stop me from doing that. So thank you to my daughter. And concerning my daughter, she is 11. She will be starting middle school. One thing that's good is that she has gotten used to going to school online. So what I'm looking into is a virtual school so that she can continue her studies virtually while I'm in France. So I'm working out the logistics on that part, and I'm trying to figure out, so I'm working out the logistics on that part. Also, her dad and I have reached a sort of a compromise saying that I will move there first, get settled, find a place to stay, and then come winter break, I will come and get her, and then she'll spend the rest of the time there with me, still virtually. And it's a good thing that she's coming during winter break, so she'll get to spend Christmas with dad and the grandparents, and then she'll come to France, and it'll still be winter break, so she's not like, she'll have a few days to get used to um, over there. Those are a few of the challenges that I'm working through. So mental and family challenges. Also, the third challenge is money. So what we'll be receiving is about 785 euros after taxes come out. Oh, and that 12 hours a week, I will also be getting health insurance. Tell me which part-time job gives you affordable health insurance. I'll wait. Right. So that was my little side note. Sorry, I get excited when it comes to health insurance. So since I'll be getting $785 after taxes, it's not a lot. And I'll be living in the Paris region, which is notoriously more expensive than the other regions. So I have to come with savings, and that's another thing that I'm being mindful of. And I can make another video of what I'm doing to save enough money to get to France, because they recommend that you come with $2,000 at least to get set up. But I would like to travel. I would like to eat out, and I'll be there with my daughter also. So I'm trying to come there with at least $10,000. So I can explain what I'm doing to do that in a later video. So thank you guys for following along and staying with me as I'm talking about my upcoming moves to France. And the biggest thing that I want you guys to take away from this is you're never too old to follow your dream. So I would love to know below. So please tell me below, what dreams do you have for yourself? What dreams have you maybe decided or not started following yet because you feel you're too old, or people are telling you it's not reasonable, or you're a mom and you shouldn't be doing that? So please comment below. It's very encouraging me to see that, and I think encouraging to others to see that, to see other people reaching for their dreams. So thank you again. Looking forward to hearing about your dreams, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.